From shredding paintings to iconic graffiti art, Banksy is pretty much the Batman of artists. He can show up, create a masterpiece, and disappear before anyone catches him. In fact, this is the only known interview of Banksy back in 2003.
Disguised because you can't really be a graffiti writer and then go public. It's like the two things don't quite go together, man.
So if you're watching this video, you probably know that Banksy is arguably one of the greatest artists of the 21st century. He's got such a fascinating combination of spray paint graffiti art with creating stencils out of cardboard. Also, he's known for having controversial messages that some people might find offensive. Banksy comes from Bristol in the UK, and as a result, a lot of his most iconic pieces are in places like London and Bristol. But you can find his art in places like New York City, Los Angeles, and so many more cities around the world. So I believe that there are three main reasons that Banksy has chosen to remain anonymous. First one is simple: it's illegal to put graffiti on a building. The second one is because so many of his pieces are controversial. And the third reason is that he probably doesn't want to get recognized in public given just how famous his art is. The other day, I was talking to a friend who has grown a massive anonymous social media following, and he was just telling me how nice it is to be able to walk around crowded areas and not have anybody recognize him. But let me break down what we actually do know about Banksy. He's a Caucasian man from Bristol in the UK. He was 28 years old in 2003, and he has a silver tooth. Now, if he was 28 in 2003, that would mean that right now he's 48 years old. Over the years, there have been a lot of different suspected identities on who Banksy really is. One of them is a man named Robert Del Naha. You see, he's a graffiti artist from the same area as Banksy, and he's been identified in the past as being a friend of Banksy. The next one is Neil Buchanan from Art Attack. The third one is a Pembroke Dock counselor named Billy Gannon. Now there's a fourth one, and based on all the information, I think that we can probably say that this is Banksy. Now in 2008, Mail on Sunday made the claim that Banksy is a man named Robin Gunningham. In 2016, researchers from the Queen Mary University of London were able to identify that Robin Gunningham's movements matched the appearance of Banksy's art pieces. Now check this out. This is the only known photo of Robin Gunningham taken in Jamaica. As you can see, Robin is using spray paint and cardboard stencils to make his artwork, which is the exact same method that Banksy uses. Now let me be clear, all of that was just considered to be urban legend up until a lawsuit that recently opened up. You see, Robin Gunningham as well as Pest Control, which is the name of Banksy's art company, have been listed as co-defendants in a defamation lawsuit. Basically, there's a graffiti photographer named Andrew Gallagher who's built his business by selling photos of street art. Now in 2014, Banksy applied for a European Union trademark so that he could sell prints of his street art exclusively. But what makes it complicated is that graffiti is considered to be criminal damage, and it's kind of tough to trademark damage that you've done to someone else's building, even if you call it art. But when you think about it from his perspective, I mean, he's got to make a living somehow, and you know, he did create these art designs. So how will this impact Banksy, aka Robin, going forward? First of all, at the moment, his identity is still pretty well protected. I mean, that photo was taken back in 2004, so he's probably radically changed his look over the last 20 years. What I'm curious about is when this lawsuit actually happens, will he be able to continue hiding his face, or will his identity finally come out?